waking up, oh, what we could have been. I can hear your thoughts loud and clear. You don't have to say a thing, my dear. Pretend that I'm not here. All I seek is some honesty, a stray of light in my darkest fears. I know you know, I know you don't care about my love, care about my love. Look at me, I have thick skin. You don't care about my love, care about my love. Look at me, I have thick skin. Did you play your part, hand too hard? Yeah, did you let me in? Did I give you space enough to waste every bit of ice? I can hear your thoughts loud and clear. You don't have to say a thing, my dear. Pretend that I'm not here. All I seek is some honesty, a stray of light in my darkest fears. I know you know, I know you don't care about my love, care about my love. Look at me, I have thick skin. You don't care about my love, care about my love. Look at me, I have thick skin. My love, oh my love, oh my love. Look at me, I have thick skin, as I'm sure I would give in. Fall apart, let you go and break my heart. Look at me, I have thick skin, as I'm sure I would give in. I know you know, I know you don't care about my love, care about my love. Look at me, I have thick skin. You don't care about my love, care about my love. Look at me, I have thick skin. My love, oh my love, oh my love.
Welcome to the women's final of the Australian Ultimate Division 2 Championships. This is what we come for. Wollongong Surge taking on NSU Aurora. Can't wait to get into this game. It is Avril Tam here with Andrew Moroney.
Good morning, good afternoon. Bang, just ticked over 12 Avril. Good afternoon. And you're spot on. Both of these teams been super impressive throughout the course of the tournament. Both tipped as pretty heavy favourites to make it here, and here we are. So I'm looking forward to a really competitive matchup.
Wollongong Surge, the closest that anyone has got is 6.
Wow. They
have score capped every single game, so a fairly cruisy ride, coming into this final, as we have Izzy Bath from NSU Aurora with the pull. Relatively flat one, picked up by Budib. Budib moves across to Tupper, and immediately looks long for Nicole. Rosie Nichols, quick flip in for the score. A very efficient hold there for Wollongong Surge.
What a throw. That leading pass into space. Perfect. That is the ideal way to start your day.
Rosie Nichols, we've already seen them once on the stream. You can see the celebrations with the Surge ladies getting around each other. As we see the roster here, earlier on we did have Surge's semi on the stream, heavily featuring Rosie Nichols, number 33. Maya Osmond also very involved in a lot of plays, and was very impressed with Annalise Hedich, 98. Not as a familiar name, but certainly making her mark here at this championship.
Yeah, Gemma Coleman as well, I thought had a really good semi-final, so expecting to call all of their names.
So very quick hold, only requiring less than a handful of passes. Can NSU do the same? So that pull lands to the far sideline. I think that did land in bounds and then slid out. But there's some chat about. And hands up saying, oh, I don't want to take that one. And Perkins, ever reliable handler for this NSU line. And a high shot, that comes down. So an early turnover here. A prime opportunity for a break. Ha picks up. Fakes to move the mark. A nice little shoulder one as well. Squeezes up the sideline. Bankson goes a long option. She's looking for Wilson in the end zone. And NSU come down with it. So both teams looking for their long options in the deep space. And this time, MSU again stuck in that corner. Move it up. Well done to get it through those two defenders. And Perkins goes quickly.
Nice throw.
Moves it with Chapelo. And Ryan goes a big shot. Big calls of left, and the scraps are picked up. So NSU do manage a hold to get it tied at 1-1.
Excellent read. That high disc, catching a bit of breeze, going over the original receivers. You can see initially intended to go bottom of screen, but instead over the top. Over Gakusan's head. See Perkins' running throw. And we'll give a shout out to the Hodge family watching at home. Leela, unfortunately unwell, not able to join this weekend.
And Simone Ryan, she's been a stalwart of the Australian ultimate scene, getting on the bird early with an assist. As we have a look at the rest of the NSU Aurora roster, ably supported Perkins, she'll be picking it up plenty, alongside Izzy Bath as well, the main handlers. We've got several different receivers. Dana Gakutin yesterday was really big in that deep space.
Yep, so is Simo as well,
and
throwing and catching.
And Kendall Lane, of course, champion in the backspace. So we are on serve to start off this game. Plenty of voices on the sideline. And Surge moving through Coleman and Boudib. And an away shot. That one's going to trail away, and NSU managing to get good body position. Surge unable to complete that shot.
Yeah, it was a funny one. I thought it was great out of the hand, but although the wind has died right down from this morning, it's still just carried that disc away from Tupper's reach.
Bath to pick up. Boudib with the inside mark, and Coleman the same on Lane.
Nice cut.
Moves it up to Barrage. And 11-22 up to Ong. So moving it to that far sideline. Ban. Shoots it up to He. And Lane again getting involved. Power position. But deep receiver's not quite in the right space. So continuing to squeeze it up the sideline. Pointing waiting. The stall count surely rising. And a nice undershot by Pan. Manages to trap it through her legs to stop it from touching the grass.
Nice party trick.
Has to go back to Bath. So Aurora remaining nice and patient. And she goes a big shot with the blade to lane. And that is a break to NSU Aurora. Beautiful point by Lane, getting involved in the backspace, and then in the end with a goal. You see here, just trapped on that far sideline. But yeah, that save through the ankles and calves, making sure to get those lower leg muscles activated. And we see here, so Bath here, you see all the defenders overcommitting on the open side and leaving that break space. And Bath with fantastic disc skills, managing to curve that disc around to make it a much easier catch for Lane.
Yeah, it was almost like they flooded the open side. I was kind of concerned that they weren't really giving many open throwing lanes. But they were all on the same page. That overhead out the break, as you said, really hard to defend, particularly when they've flooded the open side. So Izzy Bath with the assist. Kendall Lane catching the goals, as she's done throughout the tournament. Two-1 the score.
Big pull from Perkins. Mandy Lee working with her to pick up. Headitch already heads long. She knows Ha's got a big gun. Yeah. Perfectly weighted and read ahead of Parker. And this one a little high. Oh, she lost sight of this, but she somehow manages to retrack that. And there's going to be a call of down. So despite, and it is a goal called, so Horville somehow, she probably had 3 bids at that disc. And a very nice clean hold, and that is a 3-shot pass. She's proven to be a powerful thrower, throwing her receivers into space. As we said earlier, Headitch has been a real find this tournament, and it just slips here and there. Full extension with an outstretched hand.
Just maximising the highlight reel, really, just going for style points, increasing the difficulty.
So no surprises to see Simone Ryan on field. She's been a key linking chain in their offense. Perkins as well, though she starts on the wide side. Oh, and that's some intense defense coming from Surge. Motivated on by the Opens team, accenting every pass. And Lane, a nice little cut through the cup. Bit stagnant downfield for NSU Aurora, so having to work through the handlers and the poppers. Swinging it wide now. And Ryan, she pops up on this close sideline. Oh, and a beautiful throw through a very narrow channel to Lane. And so, and a high release now by Perkins. That one's going to blade into the grass. And somehow saved by Alexandra De Lima.
It's going to be that kind of game, I think. Second chances, slips and dives. You've got to make the most of your opportunities. Sit anything up high in the wind. It's going to be difficult to D cleanly. So just coming off the defender's hand. Can't believe it.
It's difficult to catch those Ds when they're coming in spicy.
Exactly.
I'm sure she tried. But in the end, interesting move by NSU, that one. Not much downfield movement. In the end, the handler's working it through small ball and eventually opens up. So Surge with the noses in front, a break ahead, although the scoreboard is 2-3. Have to say, though, much cleaner game than the semi-final. Yeah. Like you said, the conditions a little bit more favourable. Just a bit of a thrower's breeze, really.
Yep. Mel giving love. A lot of love on the sidelines. Crank, the brother team, sister team. Looking to get it done in their final coming up directly after this.
I like the energy from both sidelines. Really willing on their defense. But the offense looking supremely calm here. Mandy Lee, just a casual little throw. Works that one too.
Oh, and great throw.
Oh, no. And that was unfortunate by Belinda Wilson. She was in a good position. But again, the wind just pushing the disc a little bit sharper right. And the receivers not quite having the ability to anticipate that just yet.
Great throw. Again, another one out of the hand that I thought was pinpoint, but fatigue and tired legs starting to play a role.
And moving it up this sideline, a nice mid-range shot here. Ong now fakes, engages the dump. Ask her to go far, but the defense is really well done. Eventually they manage to get one off to Buriak. And now swinging it across to the fat side. Ong working hard to get these unders, but she's looked off. So bar to Perkins, and Lee is close to that one. Buriak now knocking on the end zone, and Ong, who's been working hard all point, comes up with a clean hold for NSU Aurora.
Great point, great flow. The give go from Perkins, really well executed. Doesn't think much of setting a pivot foot apparently. It's not her first time today. Good communication downfield, only allowing one cutter into the lane. Great point.
So, timeout called after Aurora goes up 2 breaks ahead to Surge. Both teams originating from New South Wales would have been familiar with each other playing regionals. And Buriak, we see there, very involved in that point in the end with the assist. And so far, 2 breaks to zip. Although Surge have had the opportunity on a possession on the D-line, just couldn't convert yet.
Yep.
So certainly might be the question of who can take their opportunities here with all on the line. Certainly it feels like the NSU Aurora team are a bit more up and about. The vocal intensity, physical presence as well. Off to a fast start. And I've got some more supporters from the other NSU team as well on the sideline to add some extra boost.
There they are, eagerly awaiting their own final.
So perhaps a timeout also utilised to put on a confident offensive line. A slaughter clean hold for the Surge fans. Perkins, a nice high pull with a upwind direction, keeps it in. And Serge setting up, looks like in a side stack. Wouldn't be surprised to see an ISO play here.
Yeah, agreed.
Set play just to get a quick, easy score. And that timing of that first cut not quite right. So opts to go in the middle. Nichols moves up to Tupper. Tupper goes a big shot.
Wow.
And looking for Osmond. And that set play works out perfectly for Serge.
One of the best points we've seen today. Great disciplined offense. See the run off the front of the stack. Type of making that out and under. And shooting deep, one out. Nice high grab. Great point.
Like the long games of both teams, I think ultimately it might be the question of who can connect better. And a nice, easy, quick point also helpful to put the pressure straight back on the opposition. So Serge's D-line will be looking to try and get another opportunity. You can see Mandy Lee calling the preferred matchups. I'm sure she'll be geeing up the girls.
Quite obnoxious, aren't they? I was never like that. Very restrained.
Izzy Barr, so as usual, opting for their three-handers back. A zone this time set up by Serge.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's worthwhile. Changing things up.
And the puppy protecting that behind dump, but NSU are managing there. And that's a high grab. Somehow sticks that one, does Chan. Moves it up to Briones. And the big shot goes up. The two defenders, but the meat in the sandwich succeeds. And Chan with an assist to the end zone. NSU also a relatively quick hold here to Gia Briones.
Yeah, Kaylee Chan on 2 occasions, consecutive throws, it felt like needing to elevate, take the disc high. This one a 2-on-1 shot into the end zone. It had a really good read on it, tracked it the whole way, and finished the easy 2-metre pass.
So nice to see some of the names on NSU, which we haven't called as much, using the depth of their entire roster. Division 2, obviously a fantastic opportunity for development as well, bringing on the new generation of stars.
So now, pressure ever so slightly back on the Wollongong Surge. Need to maintain proximity from a scoreline perspective. Put this hold in.
Oh, lovely inside shot by Boodib to hit Nichols. Just to jump backwards to Tupper.
Stack's very deep.
Yeah, the cuts eventually do come to Osmond, but Ryan gets a mitt in there, deflects it out of bounds. And so about 2/3 of the field to work with. Izzy Barr starts on the sideline. As we said, this NSU Aurora team humming along nicely. And Lane shoots it across to Ryan. Now gets it to Heat. And they're spread out nicely, Aurora, but there Osmond makes amends. Gets the disc back. Coleman fakes big. Throws under. Nichols now looks ahead. The cuts eventually evolving. That one's an overthrow, but can the scraps be picked up? No, they can't. Wolski unable to get there in time. So Barr takes a big breath, and she's got a long option early. Doesn't like that look. Surge defense poaching a little bit in the lane, and that is a fantastic block Rosie Nichols coming up trumps.
Wow, what a block. That's big individually. When you put it in the context of the game, it's even bigger.
So both Ryan and Nichols getting on with big blocks, but Coleman moves it up to Boudib. And again, the cut's just a little bit late from Serge. Elect to go the around. Nichols now in the back space.
Big break opportunity if they want it. They're running pretty strong poachers. There it is.
I like that swing across to Coleman. Fat side continuation. Of course, Osmond in the space. And that is Serge with a very nice score. Okay, that was a hold after a couple of turnovers each way. So both teams just holding steady the offensive lines for now.
Yeah, Wollongong spring the poach really well there. Simone was really baiting the open side, leaving a lot of space on the break. It could have been a break, backhand or a hammer.
And just once they break it to that fat side, it's just all the space in the world. Yep. And so NSU calling on Lane. Of course, very steady in the back space, making sure they get some of their really reliable throwers. So if they do generate a turn, hopefully converting. That previous point, some fantastic defensive efforts from some stars of Australia. Simone Ryan and Rosie Nichols both getting blocks on the board.
Yeah, Simone not phased. They're playing 8 on the line that last point. Simone carrying a little one.
And Perkins to pick up again this junk look. Looks like they're forcing middle, so trying to channel the disc to go in the middle where there's defenders there. But that one is popped nicely over the top, riding that downwind. And Lane there, dump is covered, but eventually Perkins shakes free. And waving for the wide shot is Boryak. And really frantic defense. You can see the hands waving. Oh, that was a close shot by Lee.
Wow.
Picked up off the ground. Somehow NSU still maintain possession. And they've collapsed a match down. She shoots one through. And that is a very nice goal, working their way through this surge zone. Aurora with the score.
Yeah, both teams just spectacular offense. Working really well as a unit. They did have a lot of players around the disc, but they kind of have done that previously as well. They still manage to find space. It doesn't phase them too much. They're not one of those teams that play like a super compact stack.
So NSU continue in front with 2 breaks up. Another flat pull by Izzy Bath. Coleman to get things underway for Surge. And a really flat wide mark by Ryan, trying to deter those long options. Now Boudib gets forced in the flicks. Swings across and a piercing shot through the middle to Osmond. Coleman-Osmond connection. Oh, and that one asking a lot of Nichols, who bids. And that disc is down. Never would count her out. Here we go. Disc slowing down. Oh, she was so close.
Heard someone say, if anyone can get it, Rosie Dawson can get it. I think that's never truer words spoken.
So horizontal set here, standard play. Immediately there's a long option. Switching defenders by Surge, putting it, and that is a Callahan! Maya Osmond. Incredible read on that play.
That's an energy builder for Wollongong. They have not been able to bridge this gap. They do now.
We see here the defense have done well to switch to cover the long and the under, and then having to opt for the swing. Maya Osmond just standing off enough to make that throw look open, sneaks in front.
Yeah, it was well baited, wasn't it? You ever thrown a Callahan?
No, fortunately. Fortunately, I'm mostly a D-line player, so I don't really get much of this anyway. Very pleased.
There we go.
Assist and the goal for stats there. Maya Osmond, plenty of smiles. She's having a game and a half. And Osmond topping the leaderboard. 4 goals.
Wow.
In addition to a block and assist. So I think NSU will be looking to try to put the stops on her effect on this game. But firstly, looking for a hold. So Buriak working with Perkins. Some quick 1-2s. Oh, and a high shot. That is a fantastic block. Horville gets up high.
Perkins had the hand straight up, knew right away that was her bad.
Prime opportunity for Surge to get one of these breaks back. Ha moves it up. Hedich. Nice shot through the middle. And continuing to use that open side to lead. Now goes a swing across. Hedich looking for that continuation. Now gets it. And that is a Surge score. No, it's not. There is a travel called and nodding called. And a violation now.
All happening.
On the doorstep now, Surge to peg one back.
To bring it to evens, Avril.
Lee, very experienced here. I'm sure she'll be marshalling the troops, trying to isolate one clear cut. And that was Horville providing the upline option earlier. This time it's Ha, and she goes at 7, and Ha dies, but unable to scoop that one up off the ground. So opportunity gone begging for Wollongong Surge.
Yeah, it was just a little miscommunication between the players. Thrower thinking that they were coming back for a kind of continuation cut. The cutter was clearing. So we see, looks like a horror now from Aurora.
Simone Ryan, I suspect she'd be wanting to get her hands on this one. And she does. Gets up nice and high. But very big mark applied to make sure that the disc doesn't gain too many meters. And very flat mark again. Obviously Surge recognising that NSU are liking their big shots, so trying to... Oh, and that is plenty of heat on that defence, but the completion does stand. DeLima goes back to Ryan.
Nice break.
And continuation there for Perkins. A power play looking for DeLima, but Lee comes up trumps in that battle.
Yeah, that's good positioning on the downfield. Saw where the drop zone of the disc was going to be, got there.
So we all take a breath. So it feels like a very crucial point, Andy.
Yeah, huge. Aurora score this, they take half. Wollongong score, it's tied up at 6s. Massive point in the context of this game as we see a raking around backhand gainer.
And Hedich, also no mark at the moment, but clogging downfield. Surge now moving things up. Bengtson, Lee looking for a little option. Looks like there is a call downfield. Kick called.
The disc will stay where it is, didn't affect the play, and we're in.
So Ha goes upfield. Hedge has been getting so free. Looks and that inside flick, outside in shape. But Ryan ultimately comes up, although Bengtson is holding her head. And there's going to be a chat about what occurred. So I'm guessing a foul may have been called. So Bengtson drawing the matchup against Ryan. That is a tough assignment indeed, but she's putting plenty of pressure and then really making Ryan have to work hard as well on defense. Oh, that's a very close one to call.
Waved away.
No call, so that turnover will stand. Ryan with Perkins and a high release shot to DeLima. Marked by Lee. Oh, and that might also be a call. Did she release the disc before she was infringed?
Oh, another close one. I think that may have been a block. No, it will stay. Goes back.
NSU keep possession. As we said, Bengtson on Ryan. That one's a high one. It's going to allow time for Lee to get in position. And she does manage that one over DeLima. So Lee with
Good
multiple blocks ready
Yep.
this point.
Having a great point.
Standard vert stack, although a little bit far away. The tied legs now. Who's going to be setting up and working hard for this cut? And a lovely movement already to the side. Is Bengtson going to keep it in? Yes.
Oh, bang.
Oh, she goes a big flick huck, but I think that might have been tipped by Ryan on the way. Bath now. Sideline urging their team on. Oh, and an emphatic block. Isabel Horville getting in the way. She is willing her team to peg back this break before half.
Yeah, great pressure on the under. Cut the angle, got inside, got the D.
So Mandy Lee takes her time, allowing her cutters to rest. It looks like Hedich is isolated, and she goes immediately, although that one fades away. Hedich good enough to track that one down. Comes back in bounds. Lee, little shimmy to get free on the dump, and now a wide swing. Lots of time there to get set. Wilson now. Shakes her head. Now she likes the open side shot. And Surge do get a break here in this first half.
And we are tied at sixes, half at 7.
That is Surge's very first break of the game, so just staying with it despite NSU's high energy in the beginning of the first half. And then just chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. Very messy point, as we said. Very crucial one here. Lovely finish from Wilson. So 6 apiece. It's very warm out here. Hottest part of the day. Players really having to work hard in that particularly long point. Seeking shade on the sidelines. Looking for the water sprays. And a lovely high pull. Oh, look at that defensive energy from Maya Osmond. Oh, getting on her hands and knees. Barn there. Big fake. Oh, and then a lovely jink up
Oi.
line. Oh, but somehow that one tips out of the hands of Lane. Big shot. Nichols in the space. Not quite in the end zone yet. And Osman, she wants this. She wants it bad. Goes back to Coleman. Just waiting for the movement to evolve. An upline cut to Tupper. And Surge make it 2 on the trot.
And that is half. Surge rolling out multiple breaks to turn a 4-6 deficit into a 7-6 lead. We've got some form of body art going on from the men's team on the middle of the field here. Not too sure what it is or what it's spelling.
And a lovely long shot to completely open Rosie Nichols after getting that turn. And well done to stay nice and patient here. Coleman, again, Osman saying, hey, I'm free, but in the end, that upline cut from Tupper, very difficult to stop. So.
And in the bottom right-hand corner of your picture is NSU, I believe is what they're spelling out, is going to be my guess.
Plenty of claps and cheers and with a little exclamation mark.
Oh, I was trying to work out what that last part was. Yeah, you got it. Good on. All right, well, I'm going to go jump in, listen to the huddles. I think we may have missed them already, but get some messages from the teams.
trying to impress me, pulling out all the stops.
I'll do it a couple of years, a bit older.
Just coming up. 3, 2, 1.
And welcome back to the Australian Division 2 Championships, this women's gold medal match. Very close game between NSU Aurora and Wollongong Surge. Aurora getting up 2 breaks early in this piece, but Surge managing to peg back 2 breaks to end this half. And there is a pick caught in the stack in NSU's offensive point. So the players just working out where the pick occurred. And the disc comes in, a high shot. Fantastic block there by Bengtson. And Ha looking to pick it up quickly. Moves it up to Nichols. And Surge, will they be able to get another break to continue on their break train? Mandy Lee fakes, looks, throws. Goes across to Ha on the far side, remaining nice and patient. And that one just slips over the fingertips. Maybe a little too much sunscreen. Sorry, Lane with a big shot. And that one goes out of bounds. So both teams a little rushed now. So Ha picking up. Hopefully the sunscreen now wiped off. Lee in support in the jump set. And a standard vertical stack. Lee, power position up line. Points and shoots. And Ryan, a no-look D, gets huge for NSU Aurora. So turns both ways already. Both teams bringing up the defensive intensity. And Aurora move it up through Buriak. Really high velocity fakes. Oh, and just, oh, that's a fantastic grab off the deflect. Oh, now Ryan squeezes it up the sideline.
Great throw.
And the continuation, that flow. Is she going to go? She does, and she bids and she scores. NSU Aurora, look at that energy. Everyone getting around Dana Gakutin there. What a way to start off this second half.
Amazing bids by all players. Excellent point, individual brilliance. Let's see first the running D.
No look there. Simone Ryan just reading the hands of Bengtson, just putting it up in hope. And despite the defensive pressure from Ha, manages to work the way up. Oh, look at that grab.
Oh, that's a great grab.
Such control to prevent that ground strip. And what a beautiful throw. I think just trust really in each other, knowing and trusting them to be in that space.
Yeah, came back to an ovation on the sidelines.
That was Chapelo with the assist. Gakutin with the score. So NSU spreading around the stats. Got plenty of depth in their squad, although the big defensive presence of Simone Ryan can't be understated. So a big pull from Bath. Conditions a little more still. Coleman moves it up to Osmond. And defender sagging off a little bit. Oh, but that's the inside shot a little too much. Maybe Osmond not suspecting that. And NSU now looking, hunting for a break. Having to go all the way behind to Perkins, and that one is incomplete. So Serge get another opportunity. Coleman, she looks long, goes the head nod. Nichols, you trust her. Somehow she manages to reel that one down, and a quick flip to Bootib for the score. And that is a well-earned hold by Serge. Goes up 8-7. You see Gemma Coleman picking up. She goes the nod. And Nichols knows she wants it. Somehow reaches over with that right hand and almost shields and pushes the disc over in her lap. And Bootib there in the space for an easy flip.
Nothing in it right now, Avril. Both of these teams throwing everything at it. And a lot of energy on the sideline as well. That's what's going to get them through both this second half as well as we draw to a close and things start to get tight. You need every bit of energy. Osmond having some kind of game. 4 goals and an assist.
Including that amazing Callahan as well. And so these are the games that you come to play for, Andy.
Yeah, what a feeling, what an energy, what a vibe.
And so Coleman doing double duty. This time coming out on defense. Nichols, Lee. So very experienced line here. Bengtson as well. Ryan moves up to DeLima. Oh, Lee was close on that attempt.
Read it, didn't she?
Oh, and heat there on defense. But there's going to be a chat between Wilson. It's a really close call, I think. Both players getting up high. See here on the replay. Oh, so difficult to know. It didn't look like she'd made any contact with the arms, but whether she had control of the disc, very difficult to tell. That is the chat about whether she had control. Perkins, her teammate.
I think it's saying exactly that, Av. I think you're right.
So Perkins explained she didn't think she saw her stop rotation of the disc, therefore she didn't think she had control of the disc. Not sure if it was a strip or a foul call though, so some differences there to resolve the call. Now asking for Steve Baker, the game advisor's perspective.
Yeah, Steve offering his perspective. Not sure what it is, but I think we are going to see a turn.
I think they're still allowing the defender Wilson.
Accepted.
So accepted foul. So nice high five there. And Briones to get things underway, just still in possession. So Briones looking for a dump in Ryan, but Bengtson covers that so well. Having to settle for a little shot to Buriak. Shakes her head. What does she want? Shoulder fakes aplenty, and Mandy Lee gets in the way.
Just bulk D's from Lee today.
Coleman goes a big, looking for Lee. She's sandwiched between Ryan. Ryan, the height wins out. And
stepping it up, Simone.
Oh, and that one's too high for Buriak. And Coleman is just saying, settle down, Serge, take a breath. Giving you time to set things up. So, again, going with a vertical stack. Bengtson, marked by Ryan. Coleman goes the inside flick. That's a fantastic shot to Hedich. And again, using their inside flicks well. Nichols with the disc on the close sideline. Goes backwards to Lee. As we said, falling some very experienced heads on this line. Nichols fakes that inside flick. Stall count's rising. Lee wants it wide, but so does Bengtson. Hits her. And an open side to Gemma Coleman for the score.
That's a big point from the Surge. Opportunities both ways. They manage now to just get a little bit more separation at 9-7. Puts a bit more pressure on Aurora. See another one of Lee's D's. Go with the handful she already has had earlier in the game.
Both teams working really hard. You can feel the determination in both sides, willing their team on in the end. Beautiful way to finish. So that is another break to Surge.
Yeah, and we've seen a timeout called, and just as we do, we're going to mention the Rob Hancock Award, and its richly deserving recipient, Ruben Berg. I got a chance to have a chat to Ruben to celebrate what's been a great honour. Ruben, I know you're not a man that does it for the recognition or the awards, but it must be a pretty humbling moment for you.
Yeah, it is. When you look at the names of the people on there, there's some pretty powerful names across the history of Ultimate in Australia, so it's a great privilege to be alongside them.
Bit of a resume that Simon read out. What were your reflections on that? There's certainly covered a lot of ground.
Apparently I played for Australia many more times than I realised. That's my reflection. So.
Don't disagree with it, mate. Just take it. And finally, you talk about the names on this. What does the Ultimate community mean to you? What's kind of really standing out and special about where the sport's at the moment?
I find it really powerful to turn up to these sorts of events and have hardly any clue who anyone is. Like, there's so many new players coming through and picking up and enjoying the fun sport of Ultimate, the spirit of Ultimate. It's really pleasing to see it in such a great spot.
Congratulations, mate. I overheard someone say it's probably long overdue, but the recognition must be nice. You're a fantastic asset to our sport and the community, and congratulations.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, mate. A legend of the sport, Avril. Ruben, as a player, administrator, pretty sure he did some coaching in there, a leader. Not only within the Ultimate community, but as proud leader of the Indigenous community as well. Has done some fantastic things. He's a all-round good guy, Ruben.
Sure, and also pretty accomplished disc golfer right here too.
Yes.
So
I haven't crossed that threshold. Are you a disc golfer?
Have not yet tried my hand, but with the old legs getting a bit more weary, might be around the corner.
Anyone? Matt, Mikey, Rex, Katie? No disc golfers in the ULTI.TV crew. Who needs disc golf when you've got Ultimate and when you've got a game like this? The Div 2 final, Wollongong Surge.
Look at
two
this!
up.
Look at this chase down by Maya Osman there. She draws
First
that.
pass. Yeah.
She draws that big match against Ryan. Takes Ryan out. Forces NSU to go wide. That is a good completion. Ryan now catches up. And the Aurora sideline asking him to keep moving. They want to try and continue changing their angles of attack, but you can see players getting tired. That one is scooped up. Burridge goes across to Ryan, and then to the far side in Bath. So Surge doing well to slow the disc down, make the stall count rise, and plenty of head checking as well, but a call is made here. And it may be an injury. That's an injury. Ball to Chapelo, who limps off the sideline. Lane comes in to replace her. So you can see the lines shortening now.
Yep, good point.
Coleman on again. And Osman doing plenty of work, both on offense and defense. So you see some nice switching here. Oh, and Ryan goes a shot up top. And Lane, fresh legs, comes down with the grab.
It's a good point from Aurora, not going into their shells, shooting a few of those long shots. And they haven't always had the most kind of structured offense, like as in compact. And I think you see that's a real contrast, I think you see Surge play a really compact stack, whereas the Aurora team, they do seem to not mind having a bit more space, but it works for them. I mean, they're only 1 point down in a Nationals final, so it's working. But it's great, as I said, that they're not going into their shells. They're going to continue shooting.
Sometimes that chaos of being less predictable does work in your favour. Means the defence are constantly having to head check, look around. Makes it more difficult for them to kind of read the play if you're not telecasting what you're doing. And Gemma Coleman on for her 4th point in a row. Nichols back on the line. And Osborne and Benson there as well, alongside Hart. So Izzy Bath will go up with a big pull. And the wind has dropped. Very still conditions now.
Yeah, no wind. I wouldn't mind some. It's bloody hot.
Yeah, definitely is warm out there. The players working incredibly hard. And Nichols now with the disc. Looks like a junk kind of arrowheady, although now more of a match look.
Yeah.
And a big shot by Coleman. Acres of space for Headich, but that might be too far, and Perkins beats her to the disc.
Was a pick in there, but it didn't affect the outcome of the play, so the turn will stand.
So Perkins has been a little quiet, I think, by her standards. She was up and about in an earlier streamed game. I think she'll be looking to stamp her authority for NSU Aurora to try and peg this break back. She goes a big shot of her own. And that one is too far out in front. So, as we said, the heat rising both in temperature and in this battle. Players taking their time to walk it up. Coleman pinned on the sideline. Opts for the dump behind. Working with Ruby. And that one's a low throw to the ground. Fatigue perhaps setting in.
Yeah, right option, just an execution error.
A big shot. Bath goes upstairs looking for Buriak. Buriak, fingertips to it. Sideline also there. Plenty of pressure from Headich as well.
Yeah, knew the line was a factor, was trying to tow it in as well. So always hard when you've got to do 2 or 3 things at once.
And fantastic effort to try and get a mitts on it. But I think the fatigue now and the heat certainly affecting the players' throws. We saw a couple of execution errors.
Definitely.
So Coleman here in the corner. Osman, powerful cut under, but that one is a little overthrown. She still manages to track it over her head. Coleman.
Got a big swing out here if she wants it. No.
Oh, Osman, that one's high, but not too high for Nichols.
Great grab.
Benson on the far sideline. And they clog up that open under space well, though, so they have to go sideways, but Haas happy to help out. And doing well with the swing to open up that fat side. Pierces it through Osmond to Nichols. And as we said, very disciplined stack. You know, they're cutting one at a time, engaging the dump. Oh, and a long shot from Coleman, squeezing it up. That one is successful. And a high shot, but as we said, Nichols, plenty of airtime. And Surge get a nice point.
Yeah, it's still absolutely game on. If you're Aurora, you're absolutely backing yourself in and believing that it's an assailable lead.
That was Ruby with the assist. And NSU have got to hold this one and then get to work on D. I mean, they did make Surge throw a lot of passes.
Yep.
I think sagging in that open side lane, making them throw side to side. In the end, just couldn't keep up though. So I won't be surprised if we see some shortened lines on the NSU team as well.
Yeah, so you see Perko just leading the team, getting in the ear of of her teammates, urging them on. There's fatigue. You're battling dehydration and cramp and soreness.
And the semi-finals earlier today were a lot more blustery and windy.
Yeah.
And I believe NSU Aurora's semi-final was 8-6. So I'm guessing that went all the way to time cap. And, you know, really draining semi-final, having to get back up. Short turnaround for a final. Not without its challenges. Lane and Ryan working together again. Flat mark again. Benson.
It's a good matchup,
trusting,
that one.
yeah. The trusted matchup here for Ryan. Briones. Oh, and that's a fantastic bid by Nichols. Kendall beckoning, gesturing, gives the nod. Fantastic attack. I like that by DeLima. She's also shone heavily in this one. And now the continuation, but somehow that disc is blocked. And Surge will take their time to set up their disciplined offense. So hard with Lee in the backspace. The cuts a little bit late. Weary legs now. Swings. And Osmond there with some nice jinking movement to get open. And Lee goes up line, and lovely shape on that throw to get it to her. And Lee now engages a dump of Osmond. She gets a little dishy behind, but that downfield is exhausted. But Nichols isn't. She gets a disc here, now on the doorstep. Up to Bengtson. Oh, and that one's tipped. I think the presence of Simone Ryan causing that turnover.
Yeah, pressure an element of that D or that turn there.
So another opportunity to hold. Ryan to Briones. Moves up to Gakutin. And some loud yells here from
scared the bejesus out of him.
from Surge to get their defense going. Ryan power position. She goes up to DeLima. DeLima powering through. Not yet in. Can DeLima keep a steady head here? Calls from Chill on the sideline. Chilly one back to Ryan. And again, Bengtson.
Has the poach dump, yep.
Doe now with the disc. And she goes, and that is no way, Jose. Isabel Horville with her second emphatic block of this game. That is 2 blocks on the board. Sorry, 3 blocks on the board by Horville. She's showing she wants this gold medal.
Surge are going to go bunter if they score this point. We need someone to take away the Red Bulls from the Surge sideline, and there's going to be a call.
Yeah, the girls are up and about.
Up and about. Yeah. And great support for both teams. Speaking of up and about, great support for both teams on the stream. Dennis Tran, LZ, Alexander, Anya. Keep cheering your teams on. Wollongong with ambitions to do the double. They've got obviously Surge in this game, and shortly after, I believe at 1:30, we'll have the open final where Crank playing the Geelong Mudlarks.
Yeah, double in 2 ways in terms of opens and women's, but also double in terms of back-to-back champions as we see Osmond, a big shot. And that one's fading out the sideline. Gakutin gets there first for Aurora. So NSU with another chance to try and hold this point. The players are exhausted. The heat, as we said, rising. No wind, no chill factor here. Squeezes it up. Briones gets to ground. Big mark by Lee. That dump is taken out. So just has to go sideways. Back to Gakutin, and another block here. Hedich this time with the slap down. Osmond looking for Hedich. Is that one too far out in front? She bids. Gets fingertips, but cannot catch that one.
Yeah, rush of blood to the head, I think, from Surge there. They had multiple opportunities out. We've got a question on the chat, is why is every game 13 at Nationals? We do in Div 2, play to 13. Div 1 will go to 15. And if you think 13 is not enough, you come play 4 games in a day. See how you go.
Nice movement here by Aurora to work the disc up, but looks like there'll be a foul or pick foul called.
In all seriousness, we do have multiple games a day. I think, yeah, four odd games.
I think with such a large draw as well, trying to, make a fair pool and get people playing a variety of opponents as well, just means you have a slightly shorter game, just so you can get more games in.
I quite like it. I was more a 15-point guy, but I don't know, I don't mind the 13-point games. It kind of puts more value on every goal.
Yeah, I think less time to try and grind it back. You really got to be on your toes early. And you can see the players trying to actively recover on the sideline before going on for another big point.
Well, that's the thing. You've got to, think about the last phase of this game. Time you run. Make sure that the point that you get on, you don't know if you're going to get another one. Right? So you've got to prepare and charge hard.
Kendall Lane with a big backhand to who else but Simone Ryan. In between 2 Surge players. Make sure of it. And that was a very dirty hold.
Simone having some kind of game now. That's just, you talked about some of the experience and depth. It's coming to the fore. Simone playing both ways and both backfield throwing as well as being the deep target.
As we touched on earlier, the shortened lines, we can see the big players playing repeat back-to-back points on both sides. And we are getting close. So the score is 10-9. Score cap is 13. We are already at 68 minutes, so the soft cap will go pretty soon. Not much time left in this game for Aurora to claw that break back. And it's been a long time since they scored a break point. Last break point was to go up 4-2. So it's been a long time, but we see Kendall Lane. She's going to be important if they are going to peg one back to get it level. She's already had 3 goals. So no win to speak of. Flag's completely flat now.
Yeah.
A lot of match being played.
And we've got 60 seconds, Avril, of regular play.
Might not quite have our timer
perfect
with the siren. We will never know who is completely correct, but either way, we will finish this point. And there's a big shot that goes up.
That's great.
Nicole's in the area. And always trustworthy to bring it down. Tupper to Nichols for the goal. Surge now up to 11-9.
That was a phenomenal throw. Yeah. This was the operator that had one too many Red Bulls on the sideline earlier. She's cooking.
And so our Surge, as we see a huge shot here. Tupper winds up a big one. Nice close frame with the camera too. And Nicole's there, comes down with it. So
stellar throw.
Yep. Really pinpoint. I think after such a scrappy point with multiple turns, it's so good to get that really efficient, quick one. You get on, you get off, job's done.
Rosie Nichols having some kind of game. 2 assists, 2 goals. But she's just been involved in everything, getting Ds, helping with the flow. She's been huge today. And that put from Tupper was exceptional.
She's been really handy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we talk about the Mandy Lees and the Gemma Colemans,
yes.
but Hart and Tupper, some really, some names we haven't heard of before, which are certainly making a mark. So very reliable legacy here for Wollongong Surge.
Yeah, game point.
And that pull Gets NSU on the sideline. See Hedich here, big mark on Perkins. And Perkins wanting that 1-2. Lee just pops her hand in the way. And now across to Bath. No continuation, well covered. Flat mark to deter those long options. Perkins now. So Hedich does well to stand a little off the mark to prevent those shots through. And that one's a little high, so gobbled up by Coleman. Will this be the game winner? Nichols coming back to help Hedich.
Good gainer.
Easy open there, Perkins trailing. And Lee now up the sideline. And she goes a big boof, and that falls into the ground. Oh, Serge, not quite there just yet. Aurora from the sideline, willing on their team, wanting to extend this one. Lane, some big fakes, moves things up well. Some decent flow, but Serge now getting their bodies, and that is a foul accepted quickly. And just some chat quickly. Disc is tapped back in. And Perkins.
It's all a bit stagnant at the moment. This is the fatigue that you spoke about, Averill.
Yeah, and the downfield cutters very far away. Perkins twinkle toes to keep that one in bounds. As we said, Hedich has drawn that big mark. She's done really well. Oh, and that's a foot block by Hedich. Perkins has a think, but accepts that. You're just too good.
Yeah, looked very close. I understand why Perkins has a think about that, but now it's on Aurora to defend the house. There's a shot into the end zone, and it's not complete. They live to fight another day. 2 shots into the end zone, unsuccessful for Serge thus far.
Take a big breath here. So Kendall Lane, I have to say that Hedich matchup against Perkins has done really well to nullify Perkins' potent weapons. But now Lane is working their way through. And the defense really pressuring every single pass. Just too stagnant, asking for those dump sets to work, so they're not gaining too many meters. And Perkins finally gets one under the arm of Hedich. That one goes out of bounds. So Coleman picks it up again on this close sideline.
Nice under.
Easy open under to Nichols. Coleman works up line. Lee also in the upline space, looked off. And Coleman now comes on the inside, and stall out is called. NSU still alive. And Bath sucks in the breaths here.
Great D, great team D. You don't often see a stall where it's just like, I'm still holding it. That's team D, shutting down those cuts around the disc.
So Bath to the feet of Perkins. On that one through the outstretched hands. So the pressure becoming just a little too much for both sides now. Turns galore. Coleman up to Lee. And she shoots long. Go 1-on-1. Disc falls to ground. And that will be 4 turnovers per team for this point. Feel the pressure very intensely rising. That's a nice break throw by Bath. But the defense just clogging up the under space. No one really stretching the defense deep at the moment. And there is a injury called. And so Ryan subbing in, Serge also making a substitution of their own, getting Osman on. So fresh legs crucial now given the 8 turnovers in total. So Lou will have the disc on the sideline. I believe it's a stall 7, so she won't have much time to get it off, but she does via Perkins. Running and gunning there with Lane.
Oh, she sets a pivot foot this time. That's nice.
Oh, and that one just falls to the ground in front of Ryan. Coleman working with Lee. Just a little dump now. Moves it up to Nichols, keeps the toes in.
Yep, nicely done.
They now use the width of the field.
Good
Moves
swing.
it across to Bengtson. Oh, Ryan trying to get a foot block there. Forces it to the sideline in Headich. And Perkins now. Oh, Nichols toes this sideline. She's working away side to side. And now goes a big shot up, but that one falls short. And just struggling with execution now to the last few minutes of this tournament. Perkins, away shot. It's a nice one to Chapello. Lou now advancing well, keeping the disc moving. Ryan goes an arcing blade to Kendall. We've seen this one before. And Aurora score to keep their tournament alive.
Fantastic grit and determination from Aurora. They had to defend the house 4 or 5 times. I think it was 5 times. There were 5 turns that Surge had, 5 opportunities to win the championship. But Aurora managed to weather the storm and prolong the game.
And I think we saw the exact same assist and score earlier with the exact same throw. So Ryan, once she gets her mitts on it, she does make things happen. So we see that outside in, a nice blade, enough to pierce behind the defenders, but still easy enough to catch. So I think Surge will be putting on a line with some very handy throwers this point.
And Simone getting it done. It's been huge defensively, been throwing a lot of the goals.
So we see Coleman, Tuppett, Osmond, Boudib, Ha, all out on the line for Wollongong Surge. And Simone Ryan backing up this point, as does Perkins and Ryan.
Yeah, line. You said a few points ago, lines shortened right up now. It is game point. Wollongong score. They are your champions. And they've got it just past their brick mark. The up the line goes.
Heated defense there. Coleman looks big. That's the leading away shot, but that one turfed to the ground. Tupper unable to get under it.
So Aurora, another opportunity to stay in this game and draw it level to Universe Point. They're going to have to work it up the whole way, though. They're coming in just inside their end zone line, and it'll be Ryan, overthrows. And Surge have it in their half, in their attacking half. Stack very stagnant, so there's a stoppage now.
Some confusion. Downfield thought there might have been
Correct.
a call.
Yeah.
And maybe there wasn't a call.
I think it was a contact. So there was discussion between the players, but not a stoppage.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be coming in back in on 1. And the disc is in, but there is nothing doing in the stack. Boudib off the front now goes.
Boudib now moves it up to Osmond. Doesn't like the open side look. Looking for a dump. In goes a lovely flick inside, and Boudib. Fantastic defensive effort by DeLima on the last line of defense.
Wow. And they're off. And Simone's got it. Oh, great restraint from Simone, and this one goes through the hands.
Gosh, another bite at the cherry for Surge. Looks like the stack is intentionally setting deeper, and they are actually starting from the front cutters.
Yeah, a bit of an ISO.
And 2 cutters into that same open side space. Eventually they do move it off.
Just need to bounce it earlier. All these counts are too high. That's better.
Finally they work it out to this fat side, and a nice shot by Tupper goes past Osmond. So Surge not doing themselves any favours at the moment, just getting a rush of blood, trying to finish this game. The execution lacking some patience. So Perkins in the corner. Fatiguing bodies. Who's got the last reserves of energy to finish off this game?
Yeah, it's brutal. This is a brutal part of the game. But as you said earlier, Avril, it's what you play for, and this is a court run through D.
Ruby now with the disc. Completely unmarked. Coleman with a little shot. She fakes an open side, and that is a goal to Tupper. Yes, there is a goal called. Everyone stops moving. Muted celebrations.
And that is game.
And that is the gold medal match. Wollongong Surge with a fast finish. Amazing way to top out the tournament. Going back-to-back Division 2 champions with a convincing win in the end over NSU Aurora. And we see here those tired legs barely jogging. Coleman just waits for that. Oh, and fantastic defensive effort on the last line by Izzy Bath. Unfortunate. They gave it their all, Aurora. I think plenty of positives there to look back on. I mean, making it to a grand final is nothing to sneeze at. And in the end, the Stars really standing up tall in Nichols, Coleman, Lee, and some newer stars in Hedich, Tupper and Osmond. We'll look forward to seeing them plenty more in the years coming.
Yeah, and such an even game as the stats tell us. 3 breaks, 25 turns apiece, nothing separating these two teams. It was a real treat to watch them go point for point. As you say, Avril, it is Wollongong Surge who bring home the gold medal. Aurora settle for the silver, but a really nice game. Both teams very proud, even down to that last, as you said, that last throw. Still bidding on the last throw. Both teams should be very proud of how they played. So, coming up shortly, in 5 minutes' time, we'll see Wollongong, if they can do the 1-2, and have Crank, who's in their men's division. They're going to have to overcome the Geelong Mudlarks, defending champions, I should say. We will be back in 5 minutes to get the open final underway.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
ULTI.TV.